I think I've hesitated on talking about this topic, even though there's something that I really wanted to share about it. And I think there's maybe some imposter complex or something going on, that who am I to talk about Christ consciousness? But the more that I understand about it and the more that I spend time in it, I have something to share about it. And some of the perspective that I get from being in it, and where other people have a different way of talking about it, is through the Way of Mastery recordings. And if you haven't listened to these recordings, it's on YouTube. It's all free, and it's part of these books that were channeled decades ago through Christ consciousness. And it's sort of like if you were to hang out with Jesus Christ, it'd be kind of this: no church involved, no dogma involved, no religion involved, just the consciousness of that. And when I listen to Way of Mastery, he's sitting in that the voice is sitting in that consciousness that doesn't separate from you from I, doesn't separate I from God. It's a very much all unity consciousness, I am presence. So I find myself needing to mix compassion and empathy and listening and understanding with the person that I'm with being in this higher consciousness. So there's like a little bit of a play going on there of, okay, yeah, we're all unity, we're all one, and there's this feeling there, and there's this something I can't even hardly put words to, and yet I'm here with this person that needs comfort. So a lot of times I'm kind of playing with that. Let's see if we can. You want to activate some of that right now? Let's see if we can activate some of that right now. And the way that the epiphany that I came to before I started this call is something that the Way of Mastery says. And what he's saying is that there's nothing but Christ consciousness. That blows my mind, that blows my heart wide open. And it's like, could it be that there's only Christ consciousness? That the only thing that is being created from the one being, from the one source, is Christ consciousness, that it cannot be anything else that is being created from that source. And yet there's different levels, there's different perceptions of reality. And I'm here in this physical body, and I have an egoic mind, and so yes, the essence of what I am, my I am presence, can only be Christ consciousness. And then I have, physical egoic conditioning that's happened, that's kind of layered on top of that light, that's layered on top of that perception. And that's kind of what, I don't know if I'm explaining it in a understandable way, but that's kind of what I'm thinking about it all the time is, um, there's this universal truth, there's this knowing presence that is this Christ consciousness. And I'm playing out all these different levels of that, and dreams of that, and perceptions of that. So what would it be like if we removed all the layers of perception and conditioning? What would we be left with? And it seems to me that we'd be left with that purity, that Christ consciousness. So whether I'm explaining this the right way or the wrong way, or it's understandable, let's just go into the exercise. Okay. Go ahead and close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Oh. Drop your shoulders. If you're driving, don't do this. Let everything settle. And even if you have thoughts right now, even if you have monkey mind, even if you have distraction, you can't get away from the fact that you are aware of the distraction. You are aware of the thought. You are aware of not being able to be centered. And in that is such a gift, such a beautiful gift, that no matter what you're feeling, anger or frustration or depression or sadness or distraction, that you're feeling it because there is awareness, not awareness from the mind, but pure awareness and consciousness. And that's what you can never cease to be. So let's have a little game here. I want you to think about your political preference, why that is, and how you put other political preferences in a box of wrong, and how yours is better. And just for a moment, put your political preference in a balloon. Just seal it right up and watch it float away. And feel how that feels just to not have that be part of your importance anymore, your personhood anymore. That there are people that live on other planets maybe that don't have any politics. So you can exist without a political preference. So let that go. Now think about how you feel about religion or your religion or your preference of religion. And just for fun, just put that in a balloon and then watch it float away and feel the lightness that comes over you. Drop your shoulders a little bit more. Take a breath. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. No political preference, no religion. You're okay. Now put your nationality and your heritage and your ancestry and all that, put that in a balloon. I know that's a hard one. Put it in a balloon, let it drift away. You're still here. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. And feel how good that feels to be lighter that way. That, ooh, I'm still here. I'm still here. No politics, no religion, no ancestry or nationality. I'm not put into the box of these imaginary borders and languages and cultures. And it really served me for a little while to have these things, and it was exciting and adventurous, and it's something to talk about. But just for right now, just gonna let it go. Take a deep breath. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. Now think about your sexual preference. You're a man or a woman. You're interested in men or women. Put that in a balloon and let that drift away. You're still here. You're still completely, completely here. Take a deep breath. Now put in the idea that you are a man or a woman or somewhere in between. Put that in a balloon and let that drift away. Put in there your body as well and let that drift away. Now, energetically, let yourself expand. Nothing contains you. Nothing ever could contain you. You've never been anything more and anything less than what you are right now. And what you are right now is I am, or Christ consciousness. Just let yourself settle into that. How good that feels. How indestructible you've always been. How unknowable you've always been. How, with these realized extents of you, no borders, no boundaries, how you would find yourself in everything, in every person, in every animal, in every plant, in everything. How you would find yourself in the space of things. And where would that stop? It wouldn't stop. It would just keep going and going into some, it's inconceivable, it's unknowable, the distance that you would travel. Now think about dying. Think about dying with me. You've been so grateful to have this body and this mind and these ideas about the world and how you looked at the world and what you created and the love that you had and the feelings of emotions and despair and anger and now you're dying. Imagine what you would need to do. You would need to let go of all those things that you just let go of, the preferences, the ideas. But now that you've already let go of those things, the process is so easy. You just allow yourself to expand. Now, as you find yourself in this expanded state, eternal, infinite, untouchable, unknowable, now look at the world. Now look at your friends and look at your enemies. See all the roles that are being played. And look at yourself. Look at your character. You see that when you start to take away all the ideas of the mind and its structure and its categorizing and labeling and judging, that this is what you're left with. When we fall in love with the clarity and with this feeling, we create more of it, we allow more of it. And even though the mind still tries to pop its head into a reality, it has less influence on our thoughts and our behaviors and what we perceive. And it allows this more real perspective or perception. Notice how, even if there's a struggle, even right now, that in between the struggle, there's no struggle. There's only this clarity and stillness. You can't get away from it, it's always there. Think about the different parts of your life from this perspective and how things might look without the conditioning. And where we're headed to, where we want to sit, is at a place that's even a different perspective than it's all for leading to something, or um, everything happens for a reason. Imagine now if you could embrace everything. What would that feel like if you could embrace everything? Yep, that too. And that one. And especially that one. What if you lived in a world that you knew that everything was designed by you? That you lived in a reality that you knew that no matter how things showed up, that everyone was here to love and support you, not your egoic mind and its needs and its reactions, but you, an aspect of God in creation mode, that everything was moving you closer to God. And that you went out into the world and said, show me, do it to me, move me closer to God, and however it's happening. Boy, that is a surrender. But what if you did? Let me replace maybe some thoughts that are going through your head right now of what that might look like. Because what that has looked like is life becoming an adventurous, exciting, joyful experience with very little or no drama, with very little or no hardship and suffering. That all the things that my mind wants to put in there as questions of what might happen actually don't happen. And my world opens up, my heart opens up. And play with this idea just for fun. What if you got to come back anyway? What if after this life, you're back again, continuing where you left off? Well, what if before that happened, you completely surrendered? You're going to go anyway. You're going to move to the next life anyway. What if you completely surrendered to this one? What if you completely embraced your own creation and thought of it as your own creation? Take a deep breath. Now make your way back into this body, back into this reality, and start imagining that you've had this pool of stillness, this pool of awareness. And one by one, you take a pebble that has written on it politics or religion or ancestry or whatever thing that you want to add onto this purity. And you drop it into that pool of awareness and you say yes to it. Yes, I want to experience more of this because this feels good. One by one, you get to drop in those pebbles into that pool. Drop it in gently to make as little waves as possible. Take a deep breath. You're ready, you can open your eyes. Mm. So we just did this exercise together. And when I think about this exercise, I think about this has got to affect my life. This has got to affect what I now, this next part of the dream, the next part of this reality that I start to engage in life in a different way. That this just settled something, shifted something, did something that allowed me to feel and engage and create more of this. So thank you so much for being a part of this. The world needs it. I love you. Thank you. Bless you.